The online sexual exploitation of children and youth is one of the most devastating and prolific of cybercrimes. Successful investigations often require an extremely high level of IT expertise to deal with the technological arms race between law enforcement and computer-savvy offenders. To make headway in this fight, we need to find global, multidisciplinary approaches that stretch across traditional borders and jurisdictions. In November of 2008, the Kids Internet Safety Alliance, KINSA, hosted a think tank in Geneva for some of the best internet child exploitation investigators and technical experts from around the world. They came from Brazil, Canada, South Africa, Sweden, the United Kingdom, and the United States, providing a truly global perspective from the front lines of this important fight. The specific aim of the think tank was to identify current problems, both practical and technological. Two fundamental questions guided the discussions. What can we do to make a difference now? And what do we think the biggest challenges will be in 2 years?
The future challenges regarding internet safety really are quite large. You can run the gambit where you have some very technological users who are really aware of how to avoid creating evidence in a way that police can prosecute, which is really a big challenge and a big mountain to climb for a lot of these agencies, largely because they need to understand the law more than they need to understand the technology.
As offenders are using high technology to attack and to abuse the children by means of the internet, the law enforcement agencies need to use the technology to combat the cybercrime.
In 2 years' time, in order to keep children safer on the internet, we need to be in a situation where children and young people feel in control of their online interactions. Parents need to be in a situation where they can be properly informed of the risks to their children in the online environment. And equally, offenders should feel less secure, less confident, and less able to abuse children online.
KINSA will use the practical feedback from those questions to push for executive action, political action, and research. As a non-governmental organization, KINSA is well positioned to affect change and make global recommendations without being hampered by the political and economic constraints faced by law enforcement agencies everywhere.
It is very important to collaborate with colleagues from other countries, other jurisdictions, because whenever you find evidence of a crime in a computer, very rarely you will find all the evidence related to that crime in that computer. So by asking your international colleagues for support, for additional information, you will be able to complete the puzzle. You might have 75% of the pieces to the puzzles in your investigation, but the 25 missing is very often the essential to the case.
It's most important that international law enforcement cooperate together with internet crimes against children. The nature of the internet itself mandates that we take our borders down. We speak the same language, no accents. We share information in a timely manner. When it comes to rescuing a child, you can't wait 1, 2, 3 hours. You've got to act immediately.
We can try and avoid this tendency to work within silos and actually share, what the challenges are in law enforcement, what the ideas are coming from NGOs, and what the challenges are in commercial software development and what we're doing on the internet. So I think by sharing that information, it's really going to allow us to work together better in the future.
One of the immediate outcomes of the think tank was a discussion paper highlighting the tremendous degree of consensus on key gaps that currently exist in the fight against online child exploitation. The paper was written with a diverse, multi-sector audience in mind. It succinctly summarizes the think tank consensus on challenges and recommendations.
KINSA can play an extremely important role in the global effort to keep children safe online. The internet is a borderless phenomenon, and internet child exploitation is a phenomenon that can only be fought if we bring together multiple disciplines.
By virtue of working with industry partners, be it law enforcement, government, or other non-government organizations, to advocate for change, to raise funds to help law enforcement who are typically under-resourced, and to be involved in future and forward-thinking initiatives such as this think tank, such as the Center for Cybercrime Research, and working to try and help law enforcement not always be reactive, but rather proactive.
The paper will inspire collaborative action among law enforcement, the IT sector, policymakers, and researchers around the world to help keep kids safe and secure online. KINSA, driven by the challenges of today, inspired by the vision of tomorrow.